Here we go then everybody, we're moments away from the start of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix here for the Premier Formula Racing League as we're just about to line up on the grid. So we've got Antanas here lining up on pole with Badman alongside him on the front row. Badman didn't get his final lap in the session there, ended up with an 8/10 gap between them in qualifying. I'm sure it would have been a lot less than that if Badman had put that final lap in, but nonetheless he's got work to do. He's got a very quick guy ahead of him on this right hand side here. So here we go then, moments away from the start of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix here for round 5 of season 1 here for the Premier Formula Racing League. Lights are on and it's lights out. We are underway. Didn't get a good start there, Badman, at all. Antanas got away very nicely as only looking to the outside of Badman, but he's going to hold on into turn 1 into second place, as we can see there. We've got Smidge and Audio KPB going side by side there through turns 1, 2 and 3, but looks like at the time being OK Wolf staying in P6 there in that one, but Filos there moving ahead of Kimi. In fact, no, Kimi's managed to get back ahead here through this next sequence of corners, and Kimi there staying in P13, but Antanas leading here ahead of Badman through the first sector here on lap 1. And he's done quite nicely there as Badman to stay in second place, because didn't get a great launch off of the line, and Ernie definitely got a better one, but Badman there had the inside line going into turn 1, and no dramas there for him so far, and not really too much drama at all from the rest of the pack either. It's been a very clean first lap and quite unnotable, to be honest with you, so far. We've got Skadoosh here looking pretty racy at the back of Mountain Storm, as well as Ocean Crew trying to put some pressure here on Smidge as well. But so far in this race, no major issues here from anybody. Someone went a bit wide there going through the chicane. Didn't quite catch a glimpse of who that was, but didn't look like the ideal line at all. And AK Kimi's made a mistake here, and AK Kimi has crashed out of the race on the first lap. And we've got a safety car already here, which is really going to blow the race wide open. So I wonder now if anybody comes in and puts the hard tyres on, because you would think possibly we might be in a position where the hard tyres could go to the end, and Badman does come into the pits at the first time of asking here. So we're going to have 24 laps left in the race from here, but obviously from the time we get going after the safety cars ended, it might only be 21 laps to go. So it might not be the craziest idea that potentially they could be able to go to the end of the race on the hard tyres. Some of these guys here, who knows? But this is going to create an opportunity here for some of the drivers, and who knows what we're going to see. Here we are then, guys. We are moments away from the restart. So we got 22 laps left in this race. And obviously I thought it could have been maybe lap 4 until we got going again. But it's the end of lap 3. Which means that obviously the drivers who have put the hards on would have to do an extra lap if they were going to get to the end than what I first thought they might have to do. So this is going to be pretty difficult for those who have put the hard tyres on to get those to the end. I reckon we're going to be looking at least a 2-stop race for those guys. But nonetheless, Skadoosh has made the move on RK Wolf up into 4th place. Or has he? RK Wolf trying to close the door but couldn't do it, and Skadoosh gets that one done there. Up into 4th place as Dastardly Daddy and Phylos have come together here. And those two have gone off onto the runoff there. Well, Phylos there has gone off onto the runoff there through turn 1, and he's down to last place here in this race. So Phylos with an absolute horror story there. And is now well off the back of the pack. So is Dastardly Daddy. To be fair, both of those two are nowhere to be seen in the pack here right now, as we can see Ocean Crew going side by side here with All Day KPB as they're going to go into this left hand, and All Day KPB sending one up the inside there. And is he going to make that move stick? He is going to make it. He is going to make it done brilliantly there. Does All Day KPB, so gets that position back, and these two having a great little tussle here for 7th place at the moment. Obviously no DRS just yet because they've got to now continue to wait until the end of this, until the end of lap 2, or rather to the end of lap 1 should I say. They can use the DRS on lap 2 of the restart, and as they restart on lap 4 it'll be available from lap 5. But Antanas, with over a second of a gap over Ernie at the moment, is settling into a rhythm here. But what can Badman do on his hard tyres? Can he get these to go to the end of the race? 22 laps, 22 racing laps he'd have to do. That's not including obviously the couple of laps that he's done under safety car. As we're riding on board here with Big Timer, who's just been passed there on the outside by Badman. So Badman making his way through, doing what he needs to do right now. He's just picked off Dark Angel and Big Timer. Big Timer and Dark Angel there almost went side by side there, as Dark Angel staying ahead for the time being. But Badman's next target will be Juice, who's just up the road, a second ahead at this moment in time. We see Smidge there with a penalty for track limits. It's not a good time to be getting a track limits penalty. We're only on lap 5 of the race, so that does not bode well for the rest of it. Dastardly Daddy and Phylos both in the pits here at the end of lap 4. But Antanas comfortable out the front, 2 seconds of a gap over Ernie at this point. Looking in cruise control for the time being. Riding on board with the Purple Sector F1 League champion. Obviously the league that I commentate on Tuesday and Thursday nights, although soon to be just Tuesday from next season onwards. They're cutting down a little bit, but nonetheless Badman here trying to force the initiative here on the back of Juice, and he should have an easy chance to do so because Juice is not going to have DRS. He's fallen away out of the 1 second barrier to the car in front, which is Ocean Crew, as Dastardly Daddy's now got a 3 second penalty as well. So plenty of drivers here picking up penalties, but Badman should be able to make an easy move here ahead of Juice as they come down the start finish straight here. So Badman up into 9th place, and no dramas there for him whatsoever. Now he can focus on his targets a little bit up ahead of him. As RK Wolf here just waiting in the wings behind Skadoosh at the moment in that fight for 4th and 5th places.
Aren't you going to bed now? Eh?
I told you what I'm doing, didn't I?
Eh?
Didn't I tell you what I'm doing? I told you that I was going to be busy from 12 until 1, didn't I? That's my nan, everybody, do apologise. She's yeah, she doesn't understand. Anyway, RK Wolf here on the back of Skadoosh as they're coming through the middle sector of the lap, and RK Wolf here could be sensing opportunity. Obviously Skadoosh is out of a second now to Mountain Storm, which will make him extra vulnerable here to the Haas car, who's getting very close under braking here as they come into the chicane. And RK Wolf will have a bit of DRS down towards the final corner, but I would have thought he'd want to wait until the start finish straight to make this move, because the thing is, he's going to be giving away the DRS to his rival here. Does he stay behind before the detection point? I'm not quite sure. Who's going to have the DRS down the straight? That's going to be an interesting one. Is Skadoosh going to have it? Yeah, so RK Wolf gave away the DRS and Skadoosh there making the move straight back on him there. And that wasn't really the smartest of moves there from RK Wolf, it has to be said. This Badman has picked up on the driver here, Ocean Crew, and he's up into 8th place now, so he's on the back of this train of cars fighting out over 4th place here. I'm just going to close this door because my nan's left it wide open. My granddad's not going to appreciate that. Oh dear. Antanas here with just under a 4-second gap over Ernie at the moment. Mountain Storm keeping his pressure on the back of him at this point. Skadoosh and RK Wolf here. Under a second between these two at this point. There's Smidge, All Day KPB, and Badman here making a move on All Day KPB up into 7th place, and he's done that one beautifully there. So Badman continuing to cut his way through this pack very easily at this moment. And Badman here now up into P6 ahead of Smidge as well. So continuing to make light work of these drivers in front of him. Thinking with Badman is that he needs to make these tyres get to the end, otherwise he kind of loses any positive or any pro from this strategy, as he's going to get the run here. Beautiful exit there, this Badman out of the chicane, and it makes the move there on Skadoosh up into P5, and that's another driver picked off here. Next up will be RK Wolf, and then 3 seconds up the road is a podium position, as you've got Ernie and Mountain Storm battling over 2nd and 3rd places. But before that, Badman needs to negotiate the Haas car, so he's done a really good job so far after pitting on lap 1 when a safety car was called out, as Dastardly Daddy's just crashed out of the race. Is that a safety car? Is it? Is that the yellow dot? I don't think it is. I think that might be... Yeah, no, that's 2 Saubers. That's 2 green dots. That's not a yellow dot, so we're okay. It's just a VSC for the time being. There's Mountain Storm all over the back of Ernie here, as they're coming through the middle sector of the lap. Oh, it's Ernie there. Just there was a little bit wide there going through the chicane. That would have given Mountain Storm a little bit of confidence here, seeing that and knowing that he's got a good opportunity here to capitalise potentially. As they're coming through the final corner, Mountain Storm's going to get the DRS down the start finish straight. Is he going to be close enough to make the move here on Ernie? Oh, look at that straight line speed that he's got. That is unbelievable. Ernie either had no straight line speed or Mountain Storm was in a rocket ship. But Badman has also made the move on RK Wolf up into 4th place. Oh, as RK Wolf stacks it there into the pit wall. Turned in too early and just, oh, it's lost his front wing. Is that a safety car? I think it is, yep. The yellow dot is out. So that is safety car confirmed here on lap 9 of the race. So Badman has now done 7 laps on his hard tyres. 5 of them those have been at racing speeds, but the safety car's out, and Tanis is going to get a free pit stop onto the hard tyres. I mean, if Badman stays out, he'll take the lead, so he'll have track position if he stays out. But the thing is, he'll also have much more worn out tyres than Antanas. So what does Badman do here? This is going to be a really tricky one, because Antanas can definitely one-stop it from here. He could definitely get a set of hard tyres to go to the end from this point. We'll be going racing again on lap 11. That'll be a 14-lap stint on the hard tyres. That's easily doable. Badman could probably get these hard tyres to the end, and he'd have track position, but Antanas would have an advantage because his tyres would be much fresher. It's a difficult one. It's a difficult one for Badman. What does he do? Oh. Here we are then, guys. We are about to get underway here once again for the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix here at the Premier Formula Racing League. So Mountain Storm leading this race on the tyres which he started the race on. Badman put those hard tyres on a lap after the first lap, after the start of the race. Obviously it was the first safety car period. He's got Antanas all over the back of him here on much fresher hard tyres as they come down towards turn 1. Badman's going to defend the inside line here ahead of Antanas for the time being. He goes a bit deep though, but Antanas, I'll tell you what, he might have a cutback here. He can't quite get it at the moment, and Badman clings on to second place for the time being. So they survives for the time being in that one. As we see the Williams there very deep of all day KPB and Ocean Crew seizes on that without any further hesitation. And Badman, I think, was he straight on there? One of the corners. Antanas there. Oh my goodness me. Well out of shape there, going through the S's. And backed off massively as a result of that one. He's got Badman's teammate C-Mac on the back of him at the moment. But Antanas on those fresh hard tyres surely will be able to catch up, back up to Badman quite quickly. Badman is all over the back of the race leader Mountain Storm at this point. So Badman needs to make hay on the back of Mountain Storm, get ahead of him as quickly as he can, and try and assert some sort of advantage here over Antanas, but it's going to be very difficult for him. But what can he do here? Was well adrift in qualifying, but in the race seems to be a little bit more even. Oh, as we've got two drivers out, Smidge and Julie. Have they crashed into each other? I'm not quite sure. I think we may well have another safety car here. We do. Fuck that bullshit. There we are then, everybody. We are about to get back underway here for the Premier Formula Racing League Saudi Arabian Grand Prix here. As we've got now Antanas leading the race on some hard tyres, which have done a couple of the laps more than some of the guys behind him. Mountain Storm on fresh mediums, Badman on fresh hards, and then everyone behind them on either fresh hards or fresh mediums. So lots of fresh tyres. But then again, the guys who are in the top 3 or top 4 aren't really on that worn out tyres, especially when you consider that a few of them have been done at safety car speeds. But we're back underway here as we come down towards turn 1 once again. And we've got RK Wolf looking down the inside there of Big Timer, and ends up losing out as a result of that. Losing out to Skadoosh, and potentially might get overtaken here by Dark Angel, although Dark Angel's not really positioned to do much there. Or as he runs straight over the chicane there, does RK Wolf, and somehow gets back ahead of Skadoosh. So that was, well, at least he got the position back. But Antanas here leads the race ahead of Ernie at the moment. There's Ocean Crew running in 3rd place with Phylos, Mountain Storm and Badman. They're right behind the leaders at this point on their fresh tyres. And there's Skadoosh has got back ahead of RK Wolf here up into 10th place. But the top 6 here running line astern, they've broken away a little bit from 7th place driver Juice, who's got C-Mac all over him. All Day KPB right there as well. Those 3 fighting out over 7th place, but the top 6 here have got it to themselves here out the front. As C-Mac here getting ahead of Juice up into 7th place. And look at this, All Day KPB is going to try and make it 3 wide here into the final corner, goes around the outside there of Juice, and might have a chance here to get ahead of C-Mac as well, potentially. RK Wolf in the meantime has got ahead of Skadoosh. But here comes All Day KPB looking to the outside now into turn 1. Is he going to swoop around him? He does so brilliantly there. And All Day KPB there getting 2 places on that lap with that one. Or in the last lap, should I say, really. Oh, as the Haas there has lost it. RK Wolf is out of the race. RK Wolf's out of the race, and that's a VSC, I think. So no full safety car, which is a good thing, I suppose, because we've already had 2 of them. So the race will be largely unaffected, and they'll get the car out of the way before the pack come around next time then. Ernie keeping Antanas very much on his toes out the front here. He's not running away with this as Antanas. Ernie's got good race pace here by the looks of it. He's absolutely keeping tabs here with the Mercedes driver. As Badman here is right on the back of Phylos and Mountain Storm. He'll be wanting to get ahead of these 2 as quickly as possible, because the longer he spends behind these 2, the less chance he's going to have of chasing down the leaders and fighting out for the win here tonight. He's now got the DRS on both of them, and Badman looks... Oh, he had to back out of that one there. He had nowhere to go. Mountain Storm powered past Phylos, but Badman there was just caught out a little bit there. Now he's going to get a good exit here out of the corner, and he'll be able to out-drag Phylos out of the corner probably. And Badman there gets himself up into P5 now on the back of Mountain Storm. But he's about 3 seconds off of the lead already here, so he's falling off of Antanas as we speak. But Mountain Storm there got a bit of a shoddy exit there out of the Hesses, and Badman didn't need a second invitation there and moves up into 4th place as a result of that one. Antanas here still keeping Ernie at arm's length, but Ernie's not letting him off the hook completely. Just under a second here between these 2 at this moment. Still very much race on here out the front of the pack. Can Badman now chase these guys down and give them a fight here, especially Antanas? Auto KPB getting close to C-Mac under braking there, but I think C-Mac might have had DRS on fire loss ahead of him, which would obviously prevent Auto KPB from getting too close to the back of the McLaren. Top two, Antanas and Ernie still running under a second apart at the moment. We've got Badman here who's closing up onto the back of Ocean Crew in the fight for third place. Badman is about... he's about 3 seconds off the lead at this point. He isn't really gaining the amount that he needs to on Antanas at the moment. He has got slightly fresher tyres. That will surely be a benefit. Antanas still can't shake off Ernie as well, so that is going to be, I think, reassuring for Badman, because if Antanas is fighting Ernie, it gives him a little bit more of an opportunity to maybe try and chase these guys down. But Badman here is powering past Ocean Crew as they come down towards the final corner. Now he needs to nail this final corner to make sure he has enough of a gap coming down the straight that he's not going to come under pressure here from the Red Bull. It looks like he's done that very nicely. He's far enough ahead here that he hasn't got anything to worry about here going into turn one. As Antanas and Ernie still going at it, but Badman only 2 seconds off the lead now. So he's very much in the hunt here. If he can nail these next few laps, he'll be in with a shout on the back of these guys in the last couple of laps, that is for sure. Antanas still cannot shake off the Ferrari man, the league host of this Premier Formula Racing League. Ernie is bringing this fight to him. Ernie was about a second off of the pace in qualifying of this man, but over the race pace it appears that they seem pretty even at this point. Ocean Crew's got back ahead of Badman. So has Badman made a mistake here through the first sector? I'm not sure. But Badman here has lost out to Ocean Crew, and Ocean Crew's into third place again, so that could have just cost Badman a shout at the win here. As Antanas still keeping Ernie at bay. Ernie is just clinging to the back of him, but I think Antanas, well, if it wasn't for the DRS zones, maybe he'd be pulling away, but Ernie's doing a great job here. He's just not giving up. He's sticking to the back of this Mercedes like a Rottweiler at this point. As Badman's moved ahead of Ocean Crew again up into third place. Can Ocean Crew come back at him like he did in the previous lap? Let's remember, he didn't do it down the straight. He did it in the first sector of all places. But I'll tell you what, he might do it on the straight this time. He's pretty close here to Badman. Badman has got good straight line speed. He's actually pulling away here despite Ocean Crew having DRS. So Badman's looking okay for that one for the time being. But we'll have to watch through the first sector because that's obviously where the mistakes were made on the previous lap. And he's still within 7/10 of the race leader Antanas at this moment. Badman is about 3.5 seconds off the lead, so if he doesn't make big inroads on this lap, I'd hesitate to say it, but I would probably say he's not going to win the race. He needs to have an absolute... He needs to nail a lap here this time around, I think. But I think even then, I think it's starting to slip away. Antanas has got a good enough gap, and so is Ernie. Ernie is trying everything. He's really putting in 110% to try and keep up with the race leader here and keep him under some kind of pressure. And to be fair, he's not Ernie is not losing his focus or his concentration. He has managed to have a pretty much perfect last few laps here, and he knows, or Antanas knows, that one little mistake and Ernie's going to be through, so he can't afford to let off the gas or to have a moment's lapse of concentration here. Let's see what Badman's got the gap at. It's just over 3 seconds at this moment. He's brought it down a tiny bit over the course of this lap, but not by nearly enough to be figuring in this battle for the win. So he's now pulled a 2-second gap here to Ocean Crew. If it wasn't for that little mistake after making the move 2 laps ago, I think he probably would have been in with a chance of being in this battle here with these top two, but I think that chance has gone begging here for Badman tonight. But for Antanas, can he see out this race? Can Ernie throw the kitchen sink at him? Has he got anything left to try and throw at Antanas here? right on board with Ernie here. He's got a bit of DRS now, down towards the final corner once again. Can he put Antanas? Can he force Antanas into a mistake here? That's going to be the question now. Can he, I don't know, just get into his head in any way? Or is that just a bit beyond the pale? 3 seconds back to Badman, off for the leader. At this point, I think his chance been and gone here, to be honest with you. But it's not over. But Ernie's doing brilliantly here to keep up with Antanas at this point. I just don't know whether he's got the pace to really overtake him. He's obviously managed to stay with him somehow. Driving an absolutely phenomenal last few laps here is Ernie. And he's still within DRS of the Mercedes driver at this point. Badman is now 2.6 off of the lead. Yeah, I mean, he needs to have an absolutely incredible lap this time around. And I said that every lap the last few laps, but he really does need to pull something out of the bag this time around if he is to have any chance. We're just over 3 laps left to go. I think it's slipping away. Oh, it's Ernie. Did he go a bit wide there? Oh, I tell you what, he's still within a second though. He's still keeping Antanas on his toes somehow. He's still there. As they're coming through the final corner once again. What's the gap to Badman now? Yeah, it's about 2.5 seconds still. Antanas has got this race under his wing, but it's not sewn up just yet. Oh, Ernie's got a 3-second penalty for track limits there. That might just have taken away his chances of stealing this one off of Antanas. Badman's 2.5 seconds off of the lead at this point. I think maybe his charge towards a win may have just petered out here. That's gutting for Ernie, but I think he'll lose second place as a result of it. He'll still be on the podium. That'll promote Badman up into P2. As Antanas has extended the gap over both of, well, he's extended the gap over Badman over the course of this lap. Badman, I think, may have dropped back a little bit over the course of this lap. Dark Angel was retired from the race, not sure why, no sign, no obvious indication as to why that's happened. And what's Ernie got to try and throw at Antanas here? Obviously can't win the race, he's got that penalty, but can he nonetheless make a move? Can he help Badman out? I'm not sure he'd want to. I'm not sure that's really an interest of his, but who knows. Ocean Crew's been passed by Mountain Storm. Mountain Storm's up into 4th place on his medium tyres. Ocean Crew though on the hards might find that this last couple of laps might be a bit more comfortable for him. Although he is on more worn out hard tyres actually. His tyres have done 3 laps longer, so they're probably pretty even, to be honest with you. But Mountain Storm there into 4th place nonetheless. As Antanas has now got the gap over a second to Ernie. Finally, he appears to have broken the DRS, but not quite, because Ernie's back within DRS again here. So just when you think that maybe he might have got himself out of the woods, Ernie still pulls him back a little bit again. With a lap and a half left to go here at Jeddah for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Oh, Ernie goes straight on. That would have been a warning. For track limits, it wouldn't be more than that because he only recently got a penalty. I wouldn't have thought he'd racked up 2 warnings yet, but he'll be on thin ice here for a 6-second penalty. Having said that, he's got nothing to lose really because he's over 10 seconds ahead of Mountain Storm, so a 6-second penalty wouldn't bother him at all. He'd still be 3rd and he wouldn't lose obviously anything because he's already going to lose second anyway. But final lap here of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix here for the Premier Formula Racing League, and Antanas has done everything right. Took a dominant pole position. The race certainly hasn't been in the same vein, but it's going to be the same result as long as he can get it around this last lap without sticking it in the fence, as Ernie's just dropped a bit through the first sector here. Badman there running in third place, just under 3 seconds off for the lead. Been a good showing from Badman, but I think well, the switch early on onto the hard tyres, maybe, I don't know if it really benefited him, to be honest with you. It could have done, but the second safety car kind of took away that opportunity for it to have any major benefit for him. Oh, it's Badman. Oh, he's got sideways there as Badman. Oh dear, oh dear. What's his damage like? He's missing his front left end plate. He could probably limp round and finish in third place still, because he's only got half lap left to go. As Antanas here is still leading the race. I think Badman should be alright, but my goodness me, he made a big zero of that. But anyway, Antanas here in towards the final corner here at Jeddah for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix here at the Premier Formula Racing League. He's going to take round 5 of the season as he comes out the final corner. Ernie with his penalty is going to follow him home pretty close here, and in fact Ernie will get second place because of Badman's mistake on the final lap. So Antanas wins the race out of Ernie second, with Badman over to complete the podium. It's going to be Ocean Crew and Mountain Stormer dragged to the line here between these two, which Ocean Crew is going to hold out for 4th place, Mountain Storm 5th, C-Mac over in P6 with Skadoosh crossing the line here in 7th place. All Day KPB will come over in 8th with Phylos a little way behind here in 9th place, not too far behind in the end. And then next over the line will be Big Timer, who's just coming into the final corner now. It'll be the final spot in the top 10 here for Big Timer. So he comes over the line, and Juice will be the last driver to cross the line here in 11th place. So here he comes. And that is it then for tonight. But fantastic drive there from Antanas, seeing off the pressure. Ernie gave it everything and did a really great job there, put on a great show out the front. Unfortunately his penalty wouldn't have made a difference to the order even if it got ahead, but nonetheless a great race there, and Badman as well completing the podium. But thanks to Premier Formula Racing League once again for another midnight commentary. Again, had to keep my voice down like always, but yeah, good fun, and we'll see you all for the next one.